What's up, my boiii?
From that city with juice, ain't no pity or truces. When we dip and gun smoke's conclusive. Don't act clueless, hella foolish in the 90s. And GP shotgun when we ride. Solid on the yard, name hard on these streets. Dim my crimes, gangster rhymes on dope beats. Still fuck laws, ain't no pause in our demeanor. Rest in peace, Muggsy and my road dog creeper. Ways to put it down, no fear of new cases. Years ago, though, it was guns and chases. 714 on my shoulders, kept it active. Roll like soldiers, G-code ain't passive. Still macking ratchet, still packed at the waist. Still stacking racks, still flash when they hate. Now it's podcasts and videos with pretty hoes. Me and George banging orange till the city's known, really though.
OG way. We keep it moving smooth like every day. Every day. They gonna know that homie, we don't play. It's going down for sure, for sure.
Real G's in this industry.
So they gon' know how we do it on these streets for sure. Streets for sure. We make that green, don't you know, loco? We making moves all day, all day, all day, all day.
Grew up in the streets of the LB. We don't love these hoes, is what they tell me. Packed up and moved to the OC. Me and George ballin' like Shaq and Kobe. Fuck bitches, get money, living wealthy. Bad bitches screaming, let me get a selfie. Big stop, GP, some real G's. Side dick is the general of an army. XG podcasting in the morning. Don't say F, here's your warning. That other bullshit be boring. With some goofy ass question that's corny. Tommy, let me finish my story. Shooting shots, game 6, rubber orange. Smoking blunts in the bus while I'm touring. Now welcome to George Perez Stories.
OG way. We keep it moving smooth like every day. Every day. They gonna know that homie, we don't play. It's going down for sure, for sure.
Real G's in this industry.
So they gon' know how we do it on these streets for sure. Streets for sure. We make that green, don't you know, loco? We making moves all day, all day, all day, all day.
Welcome to the George Perez Stories.
What's up, my boy? George Perez right here. George Perez Stories, episode 295. George Perez Stories is brought to you by JB's Tree Service Landscape and Installation. I know it's ironic that a Mexican sponsored by a gardener company, but hey, they know my listeners. Fellas, if your lawn looks like the lawn on Friday, not Stanley's, but the fucked up lawn, and you got Samoan gophers out there, they're fighting the crickets, they're jumping the butterflies, hit up my boys at JB's Tree Service Landscape and Installation. They got free estimates, they got tree removal, stump removal, irrigation, gardening, plumbing, sprinklers, planters, everything. Hey guys, they do my lawn. My lawn before used to look like the lawn where like my house has been raided 20 times. There was just the cops. You could see cops' boots. Now the cops, they come trick-or-treating here because the lawn is so nice. Hit up my boys, JB's Tree Service Landscape and Installation at JMBARRIOS12 on Instagram. X to the G, what it be?
What's up, dog? I'm a little jealous of you.
You're always jealous of me,
This
dog.
time a lot, dog. You were hanging out with Deadmau5.
Oh, yeah?
You know I go to raves, dog, and Deadmau5 to us, it's like, and you were there
Hey.
chilling, dog. I got to give it to you. Like, I didn't want to tell you, so I seen it because you told me Deadmau5. And you're like, well, you don't know who Deadmau5 is.
I
And
know
then
who
I
Deadmau5
saw
is.
you on Kill Tony. I was like, motherfucker, did you, like, talk or come down?
You know, hey, man, shout out to my boy Tony Hinchcliffe, Brian Redman. I got to do Kill Tony this last episode with Deadmau5. And, you know, dog, like, I treat celebrities like normal people, and I treat normal people like celebrities. That's just how I live.
That's the way to do it, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And fucking,
you killed,
that's
dog.
what it is.
You killed. I was watching on the
thank
way
you,
here,
brother.
and I'm not going to lie. I was like, you were
Thank
making me
you.
laugh. That shit was dope.
Thank you. Well, speaking of a fucking killer, dog, this next person is the kind of person you don't leave your kids with if he's the baseball coach.
That's for sure.
All the way from Indiana, where it was fucking poorer than Larry Bird was scared to go to this fool's neighborhood.
Yeah, fucking Larry Bird, dude. He didn't have enough money to fucking get cement court. That dude was playing on dirt.
I know. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my boy from Indiana, Ryan O'Neal in the building.
Thank you,
What's
guys.
up,
Thanks
doggy
for having
dog?
me, man.
Thank you, brother.
I feel like Ethan Hawke in Training Day right at the end right now.
Yeah. I just looked in your pocket. I'm like, how do you know my fucking niece? You're like, she was getting raped in the alley. I saved her. You are that fool that would do that, dog. So you're from Indiana. And this is the crazy part is you were raised in a hotel?
So my parents owned a motel, and we lived in the fucking
motel.
Hotel. Dude, don't try to class this shit up. This was a motel. Like, you park right in front of your room, and your car is like 5 feet from your door. That sort of shit.
Wow.
Right off the highway.
Describe it. How many rooms? Fucking.
So we had 12 rooms up front, and then eventually my brother and I got room 13. They converted that into our bedroom. So we had bunk beds in there. So
wow.
And then
you guys live like immigrants.
My mom is an immigrant.
Oh, okay.
But she's from Germany, so I don't know if you fuck her.
I fuck with Germany.
She's not even a U.S. citizen.
That's what she's good. She's cool with it, dog.
So and then we had trailers. My dad had like trailers, and he would divide them up into rooms. So then he would rent those too. So we had we had about 6 more trailers on there too. So we had a trailer park, and we had like a little apartment in the back, and my dad hooked a trailer up to the back of that. So you walk in, it's like a apartment that's attached to the motel, and then you just go, and there's a whole nother fucking trailer. So it was pretty big.
Dude, that's genius shit, though.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. He's like putting like roll away extra rooms in there. That's some
It was
raza
all cash,
jump.
dude.
Oh,
all
come on.
cash business.
Were you the only motel in your town?
So here's the thing. There were other little motels, and we all knew each other. And literally about like half mile down the street was another motel like ours, and it had 2 dudes that were like my age. So we became friends. We were like motel buddies. So we'd go like play in the creek and shit behind our motels.
You'd be like, hey, this fool left this watch on.
Yeah, dude.
How was the lost and found in that shit?
Oh, dude. Our whole basement was just filled with like shit that we would find. And also I would go, so my dad would also show porno movies late at night.
Oh, your dad's
like
a hustler.
in there.
I want
But you'd have to buy a descrambler, and you screw it in the back of the TV, so you'd get access to the porno movies. But like on Friday nights, I'd be watching Dukes of Hazzard, and my dad would be like, all right, close your eyes. I got to check to see if the porno movie needs to be changed. So we'd just turn on the porno during a commercial. And so obviously, like, I'm just watching he's watching for like 5 minutes.
Damn.
Because downstairs in the basement was where the VCR was, and we had hundreds of porno tapes.
What's that thing you called it? A switcher?
It's called a descram. We called it a descrambler. I don't know
what is that. Like you said,
it was literally just like you screwed it into the back of the TV, and then you put the cable in there.
Yeah.
And then you could get access to the porno.
So what's going on, dog? It's for us Mexicans. It's a splitter.
Yeah, basically.
So what happens is he pushes play, and that goes out to every other outlet of every room. And if you got it,
you got it.
You fucking got it.
Because you couldn't play. Also, you couldn't play like porno. Like they at one point where I lived, they had banned pornography.
What city is this?
This is Valparaiso, Indiana.
Valparaiso?
Yeah,
shit.
it's like an hour outside Chicago.
Oh wow!
And like no porno or like no penetration? Because there's
like
rules.
no porn. Like they had a porn. They had Fantasy Island, which was like a porn shop, and they closed that shit down.
So it's hardcore Christian out there.
Yeah, they're like it's Christian meets like just fucking crazy hillbillies. Because it's all farm.
Krillbilly.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. And it's right next to Gary. So now you have like all like they call it the region because it's the region in Indiana that has all the black people. Like there's no other.
So you guys had a good basketball team.
We had. Yeah, my dad was actually a great basketball player.
Yeah.
You
Well,
play
he could
basketball,
put it in
don't
the
you?
hole. Yeah, I played ball.
Yeah. He played at Purdue.
Oh shit!
Yeah, full ride at Purdue.
Fuck.
He was 6'6", and like him and his brothers all. He had the Indiana State free throw record for like 20 years.
Fuck yeah,
for high school.
Xavier, I know you don't know this, but Indiana is like what Mexico is the soccer, Indiana is
Yeah.
the baseball. Like, hey, dog, it's Indiana, the Hoosiers, Bird. It's like,
It's the
like,
birthplace.
Why? Is there a reason why that's...
yeah, I'm gonna tell you why. And as fucked up as it sounds, I'm being a street reporter and just giving a description. Is the white boys in Indiana would beat the black other schools.
They're all farm boys, man.
Yeah.
Farm boy strength. And also, dude, like Larry Bird, he played on a dirt court.
Yeah.
If you can play on a dirt court, dude, when you get on hardwood, you're like, oh, I'll fucking crush
Is it the
these
hate,
guys.
the hate tossing shit?
Though, dude, they're all like fundamental. Like, if you watch those
Completely
dudes,
fundamental
it's like
sound.
they perfect form.
Like, they're not even allowed to celebrate. It's against their religion to celebrate.
Dude, my dad's buddy was one of the dudes that played on the fucking team in Hoosiers.
No way.
That dude became like an insurance salesman, and he was like our guy. He would come to our house and shit.
Did he insure the trailers in the back?
Dude, there was so much shady shit that we were doing back then. Like, we didn't even have, like, we would just pump the sewage right out into the creek behind the fucking place.
Yeah, like, so, like, talk to me, dog, because you're in a hotel. You live there.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
and
dirty.
a hotel is where people do drugs, fuck,
So
or on the run.
here's the thing. In the 80s, like that, if you went on a trip with your family, you stayed at a motel.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You weren't going. There was no
5-star,
Yeah,
no-
there was no days in.
Yeah.
Like you trusted the motel. My mom was German, so like she was meticulous. Like shit was clean. Everything was. It was one of the cleanest motels anything you'd ever stay in. So we had people that would work that would like just be driving through, and they would stay with us every month for like 20 years.
Wow.
But then in the 90s, when more like franchise shit came up,
Doubletree.
it started getting a little seedier. Some dude burned down. Our biggest room was room number 3. And some dude was smoking. I think he was freebasing in there, and he caught it on fire. And then some dude came knocking on the door, told my dad, he goes, "Hey, I think your place is on fire." And the fucking just flames, like 20-foot flames coming. And the fire department didn't like the motel because, you know, it did have a lot of riffraff. So they took their sweet ass time getting there. So that room was like done.
Yeah,
So
they
we
were
had to
happy.
board that. Yeah, they didn't want that shit. But then we also had a farm. My grandparents had a farm. So my mom would run the motel, and then during the day, my dad and my brother and I would go work at the farm. So we had to go. We were fucking bailing. We had 120 head of cattle, and we had fucking sheep and pigs and shit. We
And-
raised turkeys.
And the weather is very different. I'm talking.
Oh yeah, it's
fucking freezing,
dude. In the
wind
winter,
chill.
it is. But we also like we had snowmobiles and go karts and 4-wheelers and shit. So I don't know any difference from like the suburbs until you got. You know, you get older and you start meeting people that lived in the suburbs.
Was there any Mexicans in your city?
Dude, yeah. So we had Oneida's was a Mexican restaurant.
Oneidas?
Oneida's, yeah.
It's probably Onedas, right?
That's what we do.
It's probably Pinedas.
something
Onedas.
like that.
It's Onedas, but go ahead.
Yeah, those were the
Oneidas?
only Mexicans in there. But we loved Mexican food, so fucking we were going there
Yeah.
every week. And then there was El Amigo. That came in later. After Oneida's fucking went out of business, El Amigo. And dude,
You know what that means?
no.
The friend.
Okay, so it's
He was like, hey, I'm the friend.
dude, it was the same 3 motherfuckers. I would go there for breakfast, and then I would go there after the bar at like 2, 3 in the morning, and it was the
Fuck
same
yeah.
3 dudes working that fucking place from breakfast to 3 in the morning.
Yeah, that's how Mexicans do it. You're not Mexican, X.
I don't work that hard.
No, like
But
what
you're-
are
that
you?
shit.
He's a privileged Mexican.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like he didn't know his family snuck him over the border because
Yeah,
like
dude, I didn't have papers till like I couldn't get a license.
Oh, seriously?
they
That's a
brought him,
hell of a time to fucking find out.
they brought him over when he was 2.
Oh, fuck.
So
Yeah,
he
like,
was like he went to kindergarten.
Yeah, and like your parents tell you, but it doesn't click. Like you're like, yeah, I'm Mexican.
Yeah, because you only, this is all you know.
And the second when everyone's getting a license, you're like,
Yeah.
let me get one. And your parents are like,
yeah, that's
we-
like some people are like, hey, we used to live in Hawaii till you were like 1.5. And you're like, oh, yeah, I don't remember any of that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So wait, where were you born?
Sonora.
Okay.
Yeah,
I used to drive to Mexico for spring break in high school from Indiana.
What
That's
part of
a
Mexico?
drive.
So we would go to. Have you ever heard of Puerto Penasco?
Puerto Peñasco.
Yeah, yeah. Oneidas, dude.
Puerto Peñasco.
He
yeah,
lives
It's
on
called
yeah.
Rocky
Episode.
Point, right? That's what
Yeah.
the fucking
Yeah.
white people call it. So we would drive down there, dude. Yeah, we go through Nogales.
Nogales.
Yeah, and then we would go down there. Like when I was like, I would drive with my brother and his buddy.
How long was that drive?
Dude, it would take us 24 hours to get to Tucson, and my buddy, his mom lived in a trailer park in Tucson, so we'd crash there, and then we would go over the border after a few days, and we'd go down there, and I was like 15 years old, and we'd buy shit. We'd buy used to buy those like sticks of dynamite that were like made out of newspaper.
That's white people shit. That's
Yeah,
what's the
hell
drive
yeah.
there.
I'd smuggle it back on. Dude, I moved because we later moved into town out of the motel like a mile away. My grandparents had a house in town, and they gave that to us once my little sister was born, and then they moved out to the farm. But there was a piece of playground equipment, and I had this fucking huge newspaper stick of dynamite. And so there was this piece of playground equipment, and I just duct taped this fucking thing on there. And I was like, I don't know how bad. So I lit it, and then I started running away, and this motherfucker just blew the side of the... I mean, there was like fucking wood chips and everything.
Yeah?
It just blew it in half.
That's that Mexico shit, dog.
That's the second white boy in a row that comes over here with fireworks stories.
No, well,
Oh,
that's what
dude,
they
that was...
do.
I love to blow shit up.
Yeah.
I always...
Yeah.
That's all there is to do, man.
You know what's a trip is like my motel experience is different. My motel experience is like me being a 15-year-old wannabe adult, where I would take my brother's ID. There was this hotel by my house called the Castaway. It was run by Indians.
Dude, they all... So the Indians started taking over because even in the 90s, they were the Patels. There was this group of Indians, and they would always come to my mom and be like, "We want to buy you a motel. Show us your books." And she's like, "Who the fuck are you guys?" And then they ended up buying every fucking motel.
Yeah, that's what they
Yeah.
do, dude. They know what the fuck to do when it comes to that shit.
Yeah.
And dude, but this hotel, like this fool, he knew I was too young to be there. But I
Really?
was,
Is there like an age to fucking...
I think it's 18.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, and this is the weird part. It's like it's right next door to a McDonald's, and it's like it's my spot, dog. I fuck here.
He's fucked like twice.
No way. Dude,
It's been your spot?
I was boning there. That's like my sixth time, but like 80th time of sixth girl. You know what I mean? Because like I'm fucking 15. I'm probably 15, 16 now, and it was just a trip, dog. Because like how he says, in these old school hotels, doors go to room,
Yeah.
like that little side door.
Yeah.
And dog, I think it was the first time I ever did like speed and fucked. I was 16, I think. And I remember just fucking smoking it and like being scared because I was so like in a different world. And then just like fucking so hard like a madman that these motherfuckers opened the door and were like, "Hey, you guys got to go to the room next door. We got to go to like I was next to the office, I think."
Dude, yeah. Dude, I heard people we'd be eating dinner and motherfuckers like we had a door that we just covered with carpet that went into another room, and sometimes we'd just be eating dinner and you just hear people fucking hard.
Fuck.
But that's people always used to be like, "Hey, after prom, I went and fucked at your motel." Like people would always tell me that.
Yeah.
Because it was the cheapest, like one of the cheapest places.
How much
So,
was it?
So it was a flex? Like people in your high school would be like, "I used your hotel, your parents' hotel to fuck."
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But our parents, so our motel became real well known when this dude fucked a chicken and killed it, and my dad fucked it. You can still look it up. So it became big. This was like early 2000, but then it like Leno did a joke about it, and then all these
shit.
like Chicago radio stations. Because my dad was a hothead, so they would always call and fuck with him. So there's all
What's up,
these
chicken fuckers.
Yeah, and so if you type in like Valparaiso Motel chicken fucker, you'll still find shit on Reddit about it and stuff.
So how do you get caught? How
do you get
yeah.
caught?
So my dad found a bunch of fucking feathers in the garbage and like its feet. And so he called the cops.
Hold on. The feet was off the
Yeah,
body.
dude, this dude fucked this shit. Dude, here's the weird thing: when the cops caught him, I mean, if you
caught him mid-action?
you could Google a picture of this dude, and you like this dude looks like a chicken fucker. And here's this thing: he said he was trying to catch a sheep to fuck on a farm that was nearby,
shit.
but he couldn't get it. So he ended up fucking the chicken.
What nationality was this guy?
Oh, this is a white dude. This is a white, but one eye's like down here and one
Yeah.
eye's like up on his forehead.
Yeah.
Like he's a fucked up dude.
I mean, hey, man, I've heard of shit like that, and I think every race that farms fucks a chicken or something. And there's always weirdos everywhere.
Yeah, that's the fucking dude. That's the fucking dude.
Chicken fucker. I found the chicken fucker, dude.
That fool looks
is
like a
a
Foo
fucking-
Fighter chicken fucker.
Yeah, it's like fucking Dave Grohl if he
Right.
fucked chickens.
So
and
did
had-
the chicken die? He killed it to
the
death?
chicken was dead. Yeah,
Fucked it
yeah.
to
And
death?
he admitted to it. He later, after he
Did
got
they
out
do
of
an
jail-
autopsy?
I don't think they ever found the body because they. Wow. And so
Think he cooked it? After
he ended up
fucked it?
fucking. He ended up trying to fuck or did fuck some geese after he got out of prison at like a park nearby. A couple. I mean, this is probably only like 7-8 years ago.
Okay, so
So
he
he-
fucked a geese?
Yeah, he was fucking. They call it.
dude.
He said he was fucking waterfowl. He got
How
arrested
big is a
again.
geese?
Okay, so this guy, whatever his name is, Basiliago or whatever his name
Yeah.
is, his
See, I
last
can
name,
probably go ahead.
is asking a federal judge to release him if he goes through a chemical castration.
Dude, he needs it.
What do you mean? He wants to kill himself?
He wants to get
No, he
his
wants to
dick
get
chopped
his.
off.
Yeah, he wants to get his nuts cut.
Not to go to jail. And then it says, has also previously said he slept with a dead animal, including a raccoon. He was a young chill-out child.
Dude, you know I got a bit about a dude fucking like a fucking dead beaver on the side of the road. I think it was this fucking guy.
Yeah?
As a kid, yeah. Like this dude was notorious. But my parents were a little like, because my parents would help out a lot of people. Like they, like people that were down on their luck. They'd be like,
Yeah.
all right, and then like you can cut our grass or something.
Yeah.
But it almost
Like,
always
make up
never
for it.
It never worked out. Like people were like, I need help, and then they'd be like, all right, cut the grass, and the dude would make like one fucking strip of grass cut, and then he'd disappear. And
Yeah,
then, you know,
and plus it's a different, no disrespect, but it's a whole different form of people out there. Though.
oh, dude, totally different. I mean, my dad was a psycho, but I remember he rented.
He's like, my dad was a psycho, but moved on.
But he went, like, we would sometimes rent to kids, like if we needed the business.
Yeah.
So he rented to these kids once, and they ended up just destroying the room, stole the TV, just fucking, I mean, destroyed the fucking room. But one kid filled out his fucking real address. So my dad goes to his house, and he knocks on the door, and some fucking dude, the kid's dad answers, and he goes, hey, what do you want? And my dad's like, hey, your kid fucking rented this room. They trashed it. I want my TV back. And the guy's like, fuck you. And he goes, all right, I'll give you 24 hours. If you don't have the TV back, I'm going to come back here. I'm going to burn down your house. And he goes, so he's like, the time starts now. So, you know, fucking get it going. And my dad was like, he would get really, he kept fucking grudges.
Yeah.
So he would have gone there and burned down the guy's house. Like he didn't give a fuck. So TV shows up next morning. Like fucking dude walks back in, and I think he even gave him some money for the fucking room, like the damage.
Yeah, you're getting calls, dude. People
Me?
want to hear.
Oh wait, was it a call-in show?
People are like, hey, I used to fuck a beaver too.
Yo, this guy hasn't stopped.
Yeah, he fucked some
He keeps
fucked
getting
the
out.
fox?
Yeah, he keeps getting
Get
out.
out again?
Oh,
Holy
dude,
shit.
yeah. Like
Tell us what happened.
so, in 2009, he was sentenced for downloading bestiality pornography,
Jesus.
and then 2013, he abused a guinea pig. And then 3 years later, he broke into a barn, stole a Rottweiler. He sexually assaulted, then killed the animal. Like he's a fucking crazy person.
This
But
dude-
since it's not humans. I guess they don't know how to like.
yeah, I mean,
Say
you
no.
can only give
Time.
him so much.
He's like, he
time.
didn't bark.
Do you imagine that? A Rottweiler?
That's some pretty like he wanted deeper penetration.
Yeah,
A Rottweiler's deeper.
that's like Mr.
penetration.
No Hands.
Yeah, dude.
Well, you know what?
He wanted some frisky shit.
Yeah, like
That's a
this is the fucked up part. So he's probably to the psychological point. He used to fuck animals that were alive, and I think he didn't like to see them suffer when they died. So now he's fucking dead shit, so they can't
yeah.
respond.
I think that Rottweiler bit him, and then he's like, "I got to kill this thing," and then fuck it, because that you're not getting you're not fucking a Rottweiler. Jesus, dude, he knew it too. He's like, "I can't stop. You got to cut my balls off."
Hey, fucked up question, but we're
Yeah.
doing fucked up topics.
Yeah.
If you could fuck any animal, though, what would you fuck?
Oh man,
I'd fuck a giraffe.
dude, that's yeah.
Too tall. You can't fuck
I
a
could
giraffe.
get
Get a ladder, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know, man. I think you gotta fuck like the king of the jungle, dude. Like a lion. Like really.
You're putting your life in danger at that point.
Dude, you gotta tie it up or chain it up or something.
No, if a lion's getting dick down good, I'm pretty sure it's not.
Yeah, dude. You might be fine with it. You better fuck good.
It might be like, hey, I heard about your motel. What happened to that chicken?
Dude, that's so that dude, and then it became like well known, and my dad, so all these radio stations used to call my dad, and they'd like ask him about rooms, and then they would just drop like, do you know, like, can I stay in the chicken fucker room? And my dad would just fucking like, he'd be like, you cocksucking motherfuckers, I'll fucking kill you.
What nationality was your dad?
He was just Irish.
Oh, shit, he's from the IRA?
But he looked Mexican.
Oh, yeah.
Jet black hair, like olive skin. People thought he was Italian.
Yeah.
People thought he was Greek.
Yeah.
But he's black Irish.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It's
That's
like when
what's
those
up.
those redheads.
From Ireland?
So his grandfather came over by himself when he was 12 years old on a fucking boat.
On the Libby.
Yeah, whatever it was. The fucking Titanic.
Was your dad strong with the Irish culture? Did he like preach it upon you?
He didn't give a fuck.
No, he was like, we're Americans.
Yeah, he just wanted to fuck. He just liked trouble. Like all his buddies.
And he's 6'6"?
Yeah, dude, 6'6", but a big, like, fucking, like a giant, like 6'6" kind of guy. But all his buddies growing up, like his best buddy that we used to hang out with all the time, he died in prison because he murdered this fucking dude that was cheating with his lady.
Oh yeah, you do shit like that back then.
Yeah, and then all his other buddies were just fucking like the first time I met Santa Claus was some dude that my dad just picked up from jail, and he's like, "Hey, if you give me, I gave you a ride. Fucking, you got to dress up as Santa for my kids." And I remember that dude smelled like fucking shit.
Yeah.
And then I remember them just leaving the station wagon, and then my dad didn't come back
hey,
again.
What the fuck? Indiana don't fuck around.
Dude, they don't. But here's the other thing. So my mom's German. So we're living in a motel in Indiana, but I would spend 2 weeks out of the year in Europe.
Why?
With my mom's family.
Oh.
So I'm getting like all the culture of Europe, but then I'm fucking coming back, living in a motel and like working on a farm. So it was a weird.
Yeah, the difference is I'm talking structure of buildings.
Oh, I mean
food.
everything. Like we're going to art museums in Europe and shit, and like traveling
German
around. So my mom was learning to speak English when I was growing up still. So she didn't speak German to me. I can understand it a bit, but I don't speak it fluently because she never spoke it.
I know it.
Do you?
Yeah. Now. I was stretching there.
You all the good shit.
Yeah. No, I'm actually infatuated with the German culture.
Dude, Germany
you
is
sound
amazing.
You sound like Kanye West right now.
This is Scante East. No, like, hey, dog, like, look at like you don't have to love Nazis to love German culture.
I know.
Yeah, it's
Like-
a fucking dude. It is, especially if you go to like southern Germany, dude. It's like out of a storybook.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
and they're fucking like, hey, dog, to be racist right now, German white boys are the best white boys in soccer. Like they
Are they? I don't
dominate
follow soccer, do
right?
they?
Don't they have the most
They're
World
pretty
Cups?
good. Brazil has got the most World Cups.
Let's look it up. You want to talk or you want me to talk? You want to look it up?
I'm looking it up.
What team is in Germany? I don't know any of this shit.
Dude, the World Cup team, they beat everybody else
Did
in the
they?
World Cup. Yeah, Germany.
Oh, everyone always talks about fucking Britain.
Yeah,
and
Brazil.
stuff.
Who has second most? The cat said.
I think it might be Argentina.
What do you mean it might? I need accurate shit here, dog. This isn't, we don't smoke the same. We need accuracy here. Do I have you on the spot?
Yeah, you do.
Damn.
Wait, you following all this?
He's looking it up.
You gotta go.
Tries on a phone.
Fucking.
Low
Are
budget.
they still
know?
playing the World Cup in Qatar?
No, like
Is
he
that
should
shit
just
still
look
going on?
up most World Cups wins.
Yeah, it's not. Definitely not. It's
How many does Brazil have?
6.
Okay. Damn, they got 6?
Yeah, dog.
Fucking Brazil.
What about Spain? Aren't they fucking good too?
Yeah. Fucking bastards. Conquerors.
They got 4.
Germany has 4. That's a lot.
That's pretty good, I
Dude,
guess.
they only play every 4 years. So it's Brazil, Argentina, and then Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, USA has never even made it to like the semifinals.
I believe it, dude. I remember when everyone was bragging about like the women's fucking U.S. team, and then they got beat by like some high school kids.
Yeah, because they were like, we need more money. And, like,
Yeah, they're like, dude, they fucking were trading with like a high school team that just fucking destroyed them.
You know, like it just goes to show that America does let women do whatever they want. Like other countries, like we fucking kill teams because we put money into women's sports. That's why I trip out when women are like, we want to get paid. Did you see the survey they did? The WA did a survey where the girls were like, we want to get paid a percentage of it, of what we make.
Dude, they don't want to get that. They'll probably fucking lose.
They ended up owing $700,000. And it's not talking shit. It's just like,
No, it's true. I mean, dude, if that's what they was like, if you're a woman, like go to the WNBA.
yeah,
games.
go to the game.
Yeah, there's nobody in there.
Would you go to I would go, dog, but like I don't have the time. I don't have the time to go to a Laker game. Why am I going to go to Sparks?
No, I know that's the thing. I may go to maybe 2 basketball games a year, and like none of them are WNBA games.
Yeah,
Like if I'm going, I'm gonna go see like
it's
dudes. Play.
And when when the chicks go, why do they go? To go get eye candy.
to go.
Yeah, if you girls that go to basketball games, they're checking
Yeah.
out the basketball dudes, the football. You see all the girls.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that
Yeah.
guy's football thing. Yeah,
like they don't make like WNBA doesn't make enough money for fools to go to hook up with them. They're like,
Right.
man, this bitch only makes $30,000.
that's what I'm like. Dude, that's why that chick was playing in Russia.
Yeah,
She was making like $1 million playing in Russia. She was making, which is double what she was making, and she was like one of the
you know
best
what, dog?
players.
She's accomplished something great though.
She put the WNBA on the radar.
Yeah, and plus she's been sober for almost a year because there ain't nothing over
Oh
there.
yeah, so yeah, in the fucking gulag, dude.
Yeah.
you're not
Hey.
getting shit in there.
A lot of people are like, free her, you know, like, dude, you go somewhere else and fuck around.
Exactly
like
the same, dude.
Like, look, I'm
Don't fuck around when you go
Yeah.
to another country.
like
man.
my mom and dad were immigrants. My mom didn't break the law because she knew the consequence.
Yeah. Dude,
You
if
know?
you go to a third world country, especially that has tight laws, I mean, not that Russia's a third world country, but like you go some of these places, you don't fuck around.
you can't even go to Texas with weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't even go to Texas with
Yeah.
weed, and you want to go to Russia?
Yeah.
All right, find
The
out.
worst fucking weed I had ever in Austin.
Yeah, that-
No,
was
it was
that
better than New York. New York fucking weed
Yeah.
was fucking disgusting.
Even in fucking
Except for what Nicole brought us.
Yeah,
That was
that
good.
was from
Yeah,
Maine.
yeah,
that was
yeah.
from Maine.
I could see Maine having some good
Dude, this shit was dank.
I could see that, man. Those fucking
Yeah, I fucking almost bit an Italian. I was starving. Does Indiana have good weed?
Dude, so on our farm, so the weed used to just grow wild. So dudes would come in from Chicago and then like pick that weed to cut it with like good shit. But every like 3 or 4 years, the government would come in and they would take out like 1,000, 2,000 pounds of fucking pot plants. And we used to try to smoke that shit, but it was. So I mean, dude, I was in high school, so like weed in the 90s.
I know.
You'd smoke. That was nice though. Like we were talking about
Yeah.
earlier. You could smoke a whole joint like,
And be cool.
yeah, with your buddy, it's like smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
You could take down a whole joint, and
Like
then you get high.
Back then, it was 2 fingers was $20 on the bag.
Yeah, it was fucking-
It was fingers measured, it dog. Like, hey, that's an ounce right there, player. Like, hey, dog. Like we see, but you know the thing about me is I'm like my family's from Mexico, and they used to bring over drugs, so we'd get good mids.
Yeah, how was the? I mean, I'm sure the shit we were getting was all of the shit fucking being brought in.
It's right there.
Yeah, like it's shit would. I'm sure they would just drive it.
Well, the Chronic came out in 1992, 91, 92, and it was $20 a fucking gram. But back then I was very, like, I would get a little pinch, put it in a bowl, hit it, and I was fucking. I've
You're
never,
out, yeah.
yeah. I wasn't that fool that was putting. Some fools put the whole thing in a blunt. I was like, you're a fucking idiot.
I was never like those. I was just like, just give me the shit so I get high. Give me the fucking
Yeah.
pure shit. But no, I mean that shit you could smoke for, and then you could go back a few hours later and smoke a whole nother joint.
And it'd be a different level.
Yeah, now it's like I literally take 2 hits and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, you're a metabolism. Is
Yeah,
that
I mean,
what it's
I
called?
don't-
Metabolism?
Tolerance.
Tolerance. My bad. I'm a little buzzed, eh?
But yeah, no, you can't. But I don't smoke that much weed anymore anyway. So I shroom once a year. I smoke some weed here and there, and I fucking curbed my drinking.
Okay.
So now
you're a
it's
heavy
like-
drinker.
Oh, dude, I would on a weekend, like on a Saturday night, I would just drink a whole bottle of Captain Morgan's. Like a big ass bottle of Captain Morgan's. I would just fucking. I would always take. I would take a Coke. I would start chugging it, and then I would literally just start. I would just chug.
Damn.
Hey, white people know Captain Morgan.
Yeah, that's Indiana. That's Indiana. That's the cold.
Yeah,
It's-
I never met Captain
hey,
Morgan.
I think that's because of the cold. You drink like that because of the cold?
Oh,
Is that
dude, the
that shit
cold.
where,
Yes, dude. Sometimes you just hey, dude. But it was great for fucking because there was nothing else to do. So you would go snowstorms and shit. You'd be battling blizzards to just go to somebody's house. We're like, we go over there. If we hang out long enough, we'll probably fuck.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you would go there and bring some alcohol, and then we'd all get fucked up.
So if you knew a storm was coming through,
yeah, then
you would purposely
Yeah,
go to
it's like,
so-and-so's house and then hope it.
Oh yeah.
Hope you
You're
get
like,
stuck
all right.
there.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. You're like, we'll fucking make
Like,
it.
George's already thinking I would have got stuck in so many houses.
Damn, I would have got married when I was like 8th grade.
Dude, we would go if somebody had like an SUV. We're all hanging out in the back of it in the middle of nowhere in
With
the
the
winter.
heater on?
Yeah, just fucking listen to music, getting high, drinking, and then you're probably gonna fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been in that weather. It's I don't know. It fucks with me. Do you remember we were in Denver?
That shit's the worst.
Oh, it's tough, man.
Dude, we were in fucking Denver, and I did a show in a mansion.
Oh,
All right?
seriously? What the
And-
fuck?
Like
Yeah.
private event.
Private event. Oh. And it's all white boys that sell weed. And one white boy.
It's Denver, dude. That's all white people.
One white, you know how my sponsorship?
Yeah.
This white boy was like, I've never seen a shirt like that. And I was like, he's like, look, I'm the only one with Coke here. And I was like, you're tripping. And then I got fucked up, and I was like, I need Coke.
He was the only one with the coke. There's
Yeah.
no one
I
else. He
gave
was right.
this
He was
fool
right.
A pair of socks that I had. And
Took off his t-shirt off the back of his back.
now I'm fucking cold.
Yeah,
as
you're
fuck.
fucking done, dude. You're done.
But I'm so coked out, I don't feel the cold.
Oh yeah, that's a
Until,
fucking.
oh fuck! I got so fucking sick that
We
time.
almost missed our flight. If it wasn't for you, we would have fucking.
Dude, that's
been
the
there.
problem with that weather. Like sometimes I would go, I would drive there with somebody, we'd hang out at someone's house, and they're like, "Well, we're leaving." I was like, "No, I'm going to stick around and see if anything happens here." And then nothing would happen, and then you're like, "Dude, I didn't dress for the walk home."
Yeah.
And I don't have a car. There's no fucking Uber, so you're just going. It's fucking 4
Is that like a
degrees.
jog home? What-
Dude, it is. I mean, there's times where I was like, "Dude, I need to take a break somewhere." Like I need to go find a friend's house on the way to like warm up,
yeah.
and then head back.
Wow, that's some crazy fucking thoughts right there. Like I watched that show, like those fucking mountain men. You ever
Yeah.
watch that show where
Yeah.
those fools that like every day they got to go hunt, they got to chop
That's
wood.
a tough, dude.
Is that Indiana?
Dude, yeah, we had a farm, so every day we had no matter what, we had to go out. So we had a bunch of 4-wheel drive trucks, and like even if the roads were closed, like we gotta go out there and feed
Yeah.
the animals and shit.
You milked the
So,
cows?
We didn't have any dairy cows. We just had like black Angus
How far
beef
were they?
cows.
How far were the animals that you had to feed them?
So they were 10 miles away.
Damn.
But like country miles, so like you could, if there's no traffic, you get there in like 10
Do you think
minutes.
was there ever like a chicken missing? You think the homie got the chicken from you guys?
No, we didn't have chickens, but we did raise pheasant and quail because my brother hunted. So like we would raise them, they would release them because it was a big farm.
What
So
a
it's
dick!
fucking-
Like, here, little buddy. Here, little buddy.
You would raise them to kill him?
Well, we would try to repopulate, but yeah, we had
hunting
dogs and shit like
Yeah,
that.
well, it's part of sport and it's food.
Yeah. But my brother was like, he would go bow hunting for deer and like
Oh,
he
wow.
did all the, but like we would use all the shit too. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
like just like shooting. I mean, sometimes you'd be driving around at night looking to shoot shit out of the truck and stuff, poaching. But you know, what are you gonna do?
And you guys never got pulled over, huh?
Well, yeah, one time my brother got stopped by these 2 lesbians. Like,
There's lesbian police in Indiana.
not police, dude. These are just like lesbian vigilante hillbillies.
Vigilante.
Dude, these are like, that's the last thing you want to run into is lesbian
Oh, the
hillbilly
worst.
vigilantes.
Oh fuck.
And they stopped my brother and his buddy, and they're like shined a light in his truck, and they're like, "Are you guys poaching?" And they're like, "No, we're just cruising around looking for deer and shit." And then they just pulled a fucking shotgun on them.
No
And
way.
they're like, "Dude, if we see you again out here, we're gonna shoot you." And they're like, "All right." And then they fucking took off, and they were like known in that area.
Wow.
For fucking just they lived on a farm, and they were lesbian hillbilly chicks.
So you brought up lesbians, right?
Yeah.
You ever catch a Bigfoot? Out there in Indiana in the woods, you never run into Bigfoot. I'm a conspiracy theorist. You brought it up. No,
Dude,
woods.
I've been out there late at night. I've
Yeah,
seen everything.
nothing.
Hold
on.
No fucking Bigfoot.
No
Bigfoot was a lesbian?
Bigfoot gives me lesbian vibes. Like he might be a lesbian. I don't know.
How? Tell me why Bigfoot's a lesbian.
Dude, because people see him fucking scissoring all the time
Yeah.
in the woods. Like, no, dude, I've seen all kinds of shit I've never fucking seen. Dude, we used to shoot like animals, and then for fun, we'd just drive around, and then we'd stop at a stoplight. And if some dude had his window down, we'd just throw like a fucking dead rabbit in his window and then just take off.
Is that like a window? He's like, oh shit, I can make something out of
No,
this.
probably not. Not if he lived in town. It was
Dog,
not.
fucking
Like,
white boys are crazy.
His stand-up makes a lot more sense. Yeah. Like now that I'm figuring out who his is, I'm like, now I understand why his stand-up was crazy
so
like that.
speaking of stand-up, how do you transition? How do you get from Indiana to Hollywood, doggy?
Okay, so like, I was a terrible student. Like, I'm dyslexic, and they don't like they had me in special
was
education
no-
for a
yeah.
while, but like it didn't do it. So I was like, fuck it, school's over for me. Like, so I just fucked around in school. I got in a lot of trouble in school. Like I shot the homecoming queen. When I was a sophomore, I shot the
With
homecoming
what? With
queen
what?
with a paintball gun as she was going by. I had this grand plan. I was like, oh, I've got this cool idea. And I pitched it to my buddies, and they're like, oh, we're in. I was like, dude, you know
What's the plan? JFK?
so the homecoming parade, it's a float. It goes through our town.
Yeah.
So it's like the football team on a float. It's got the homecoming queen.
And you weren't
shit.
on none of it.
And so I was like, fuck, I hate school. Fuck all these motherfuckers.
You're a school shooter.
Oh
Back
yeah,
in the
dude.
day.
And so I was like, hey, I know like they're gonna drive by this one area, is this old like industrial area, and it had a raised parking, and it looked straight down. So I was like, dude, we get the higher ground. We shoot this fucking float up as it's going down the street, and I was like, we'll be legends. And so they're like, yeah, this sounds good. And so we get up there on this fucking flat surface, and dude, as soon as we're up there, because people are lined up on the street to like cheer
Yeah.
this fucking. And so some teacher sees us and starts going, hey, what are you guys doing up there? And I was like, oh, dude, we gotta fuck it. So we took off, and then my one buddy's like, well, I'm not doing this shit. And I was like, no, the plan's still on. So we run in. I was like, the float still has like another mile and a half before it gets to the high school. So I was like, we ran into another buddy of ours, and I was like, hey, we need one more shooter. Are you in? And he's like, I'm in. So as the thing's
multiple shooters
turning into the fucking high school parking lot, we're hiding in the bushes. And dude, we both just shoot. And then we hear someone scream, and like we just take off. But we walk out of the bushes, and we had like the pistol paint guns. And they're in
Did
our
you ruin her
pants.
dress?
Well, I'll tell you what happened here. So, dude, we take off, and we go home, and we're like, all right, cool. So then they have like a bonfire later that night for like the football game and all that shit. So we show up there, and everybody's saying somebody fucking shot the homecoming queen, and because we used red paintball, dude. So she got shot right in the back shoulder, and she went like this, and it was like fucking red. And so everyone's like, dude, like a rival team came and like shot her. And then the fucking ambulance came. All this shit went down. And I was like, oh, fuck, dude. And I was like, everybody has to keep their mouth shut. So then Monday morning comes around, and dude, right over the first announcements over the intercom about this shit. And then second period, I get called into the fucking office. And dude, they start saying, hey, some people saw you, this and that. And I was like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Damn,
And I
that's
was like,
brave, bro.
Dude, and then I doubled down. I was like, I think this is a travesty what happened, and I will do everything in my power to help. I was like,
White people shit.
because I was like, I play paintball, and I was like, I know other people that play paintball. I will find who did this.
Let
And they're
me
like,
see the
dude,
shells.
they turned. They were like, dude, we have an adversary now. We're just fucking. We can count on this guy. And then a fucking week goes by, and it turns out like one of my buddies fucking, because they had a cash reward then for information. And so
How
one
much
of
we
my
talking?
buddies, it wasn't even that much. It was like,
$8.
it was like $200 or
$100.
$300. But with inflation, that's like $500.
Yeah.
So my buddy, who's like real broke, he came from like a real poor family. He fucking sold us out. He also was like breaking into one of our other friends' house at night and stealing money and shit from him. So, but he sold us down the river. And so they call me back in a week later, and they have like the casing of the fucking paintball sitting on the desk, and they're like, we know you did it. And I just still saying, I have no idea what you're talking about. And so they're like, we're going to expel you. And the other guy that was the second shooter, he already came in and he admitted that he did it. And I still go, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Straight up.
So finally they called my mom in and all this shit. So my mom like pled with them. They're like, please, like, this is the first year he finally like seems to be doing all right in school, all this. So then they gave me community service and they suspended me for a while, but I stayed in school. And then
Soldier.
That's no, dude, I never fucking that is the one thing that always pissed me off when motherfuckers wouldn't. I'll go down.
I'll go down.
I don't give a shit. Like if I agree to do this, then I'm not selling anybody down the river.
Yeah, no, it's just fucking honor. It's what we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have
Fuck
to.
all
But
that.
then you find out like a lot of motherfuckers that you know,
They ain't the real ones
Yeah.
that they say.
We had another situation like that where like we ran some dude off the road that was chasing us because we had vandalized his house, and so the cops pull us over, and then they got everybody in the car by themselves, and like every motherfucker ratted. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I've been in many situations like that. I got ratted on once for having a gun that wasn't even mine.
Seriously?
Yeah, they were like, hey, homie, here, you hold it. And I was like, all right, I'm fucking down. I'm down. And then they were like, oh, he got it.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
Dude, that's when you really know who your friends are, man.
Yeah,
Because there aren't that many people you can trust.
Yeah, it was just my stupid ass. I was at a party and there was other gangsters there, and I wanted to show like I'm fucking with the business. Give me that shit, dog.
Yeah.
Like, oh, cops are here. Then I fucking ran, and they were just like, fuck, because you ditch it.
Yeah.
And I was the last one to ditch. You know, the cops lie to you. Like in my head, I thought the cops could get the fingerprints just with like a little radar. They were like, we got the fingerprints.
Like just a fucking black light?
Yeah. Like I was dumb. But so yeah, dog. So how do you get to Hollywood?
Okay, so like originally my plan was I was going to be a race car driver. So because I used to street race all the time. Like
I can see
Like Fast and the
that.
Furious type shit?
Yeah, but dude, this is the 90s.
Yeah,
so
before-
like,
yeah, before.
Long
the fastest shit was like if you had like a 93 Mustang GT, but that car now would get toasted by like a fucking Honda Odyssey minivan.
Yeah.
But back then it was fast. But fast back then was not fucking
Yeah.
like now fast is out of fucking
Yeah,
control.
Teslas. It's
Dude.
unbelievable.
Dude, yeah, you going 0-60 in under 4 seconds. I mean that was fucking Ferrari F40 shit back then. Like,
Yeah,
there
we
was
didn't have the
nothing else.
alignment. We didn't have the power on those
Yeah.
cars.
That's like if you had 230 horsepower, dude, people were like, holy shit. If you like when I remember when the 93 Z28 Camaro came out at 275 horsepower, people were like, this is the king. And that's nothing now.
Yeah, what about the Viper?
Oh, dude, the Viper? Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, people are like 400 horsepower. It doesn't even have fucking windows. You got a button on the roof. But now that's like not. But so back then, yeah, like street racing for the time, like we were driving, like people had fast cars. I just had a fucking souped up Honda Civic, but everybody else had
shit.
like, I had buddies who had like nice cars and like dudes who'd take their dad's Corvettes out and shit. We'd go race at night. But, so we used to street race, and then I would spend hours just after school driving the back roads, and I was like, oh, I'll be a race car driver.
I can hit this.
So I saved up money. I went to Skip Barber Racing School. So it was like open wheel.
Where's this?
This is up, and so they do racetracks. I don't even know if they're still in business, but they used to do racetracks all over the country. So Grattan Raceway in Michigan was close to me, so I went up there, did like this weekend course where they teach, and that's when you're like, holy shit, this is a lot of shit.
Yeah.
It's expensive, right?
It is, yeah. Oh, dude, it's fucking. I was like naive. I was like, dude, so I got a job right out of high school selling cars to pay so I could race. And dude, so then I got into like the race series, and then I was showing up, and dudes, there's this dude named Ryan Hunter Ray who I think he won the Indy 500 and he won the IndyCar Championship. And I used to race against him, but this motherfucker had like $500,000 trailers.
Yeah.
Parents were there all week, and I'm driving up the night after selling cars to show up and race in the morning and stuff. And I was relatively competitive with guys, but this dude was like
Next level.
He's got money. It's not even competitive.
yeah,
He's
and
got
also
money.
and he's talented. He's got money and he's fucking talented. And so this dude, I was like, so I did that for a year or two, and then I was like, there's no way. Like I'll be so deep in debt and maybe never get a ride, that pays me anything. So I sold cars for a long time, and then my mom wanted me to go to college, so I was like, The only college I could go to would be like a film school or something. So then I went to Columbia College in Chicago.
How was Chicago?
Dude, so I used to live on 31st and Martin Luther King Drive on the south side.
Fuck.
Because I had a lake view, and it was cheap, and I was also the only white guy.
Yeah.
So I would get on the bus, and like there was always this dude that was crazy that would hang out, and he'd always yell, KKK, KKK, motherfucker, this motherfucker's KKK. And I'm like sitting there with like a bunch of fucking like middle-aged ladies going to work, and I'm like, you're like, you don't want to address it, but you're also like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
And then there was a high school right across the street, so sometimes I'd come back home, and high school would be getting out, and then like fucking kids would yell shit at me, and then one time like kids were like fucking chasing me back to my
They
apartment.
thought you were like a cop, huh?
Or they just were fucking with me.
Yeah. Hey, it was active, right?
Yeah. Oh, dude. So directly across 2 blocks west was the Robert Taylor housing projects.
Oh, wow.
Which was like the big fucking housing
Is
project.
that by O Block?
What's that?
O Block? Is that close to O Block?
I don't know what old block
What about
is.
Cabrini Greens?
So Cabrini Green was like all the way. Cabrini Green was like kind of in the middle of Chicago.
Oh, okay.
But I was like on South Side, and then at night I would just drive around the housing projects because I was like, this is fascinating shit to me. Like
white people
it was
drive around.
But dude, I would go through stoplights in front of cops like 2 a.m, and they wouldn't even do it. They'd just be like, you shouldn't be stopping here.
You should leave.
Yeah. Like they're like, you did the right thing, man. Like, if they
that white
stop,
boy-
they'd pull me over and be like, go, dude, get the fuck out of here. So it was, and so my friends
the lights
would,
on for you
Oh yeah,
and
like, oh,
escort
we'll
you
give you a
out.
police escort. You must be lost. And I was like, no, dude, I just like exploring the South. Like you run into some shit where you're just like, this is another world, man.
And was Jordan playing for the Bulls at that
Yeah,
time?
dude. Fuck yeah.
Oh, it was
That
cracking
was-
up.
Dude, I remember. Well, no, actually, no, that was like because I moved there in '99. So, but I
was
remember
finished.
going when he was playing fucking the Magic, and it was Shaquille when he was on.
Yeah,
the
when he
Magic.
lost
I
that
went
one
to
year.
one of those games, and it was fucking Jordan and Shaquille. That was like, dude, we went up there when they won like the '96. Dude, it was
Yeah.
a fucking party, man.
Hey, dude,
Like,
best player
crazy.
ever.
Yeah,
Best player ever.
crazy people in the streets and shit. But yeah, so I would cruise. I loved like I'm always fascinated by like other worlds.
Yeah, other culture. I'm the same
It's
way,
crazy.
dude. You're like, what the fuck
Yeah.
is going? Like, how is this living?
Dude, it's crazy. You'd see like little kids out fucking running around 3 a.m. on
Yeah.
like a Tuesday. And dude, and then we would sometimes my friends would come up and we'd like go out to the bar. We'd get wasted. We'd come back and then we'd just drive around the Ida B. Wells housing project, and people would just be sitting outside at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, they're posted. They're either selling drugs
Yeah.
or they're on point. They're on
People
the
be
radio.
looking. People always looking at us. And then, since where I lived had a huge heroin problem, like dudes and chicks were always, so they would go up to the south side of Chicago. So if you ever got in trouble on the south side of Chicago, you just tell them, like if your car broke down, you would just say, I'm here to buy heroin. And then they would like escort you in.
Yeah.
And then escort you out so people didn't fuck with you. That was like the
Because
known
they needed to
thing.
make the money.
Yeah. So they didn't want anybody fucked with in that. So people was constantly driving up. So you would get like you get letters from the Chicago police. They would write down like Indiana license plate numbers and like mail shit and be like, if you were up here buying heroin, like we will pull you over and you're gonna get arrested. So don't do it.
Wow.
What?
But it was like
Got
a
a warning?
big problem. Yeah.
Yeah, they warned the white boys. They're like,
A warning first? Shit.
hey, isn't there a city in Indiana that has like 100% HIV rate because they all share the
Oh,
same
dude,
needles?
it's so weird. I feel like I've heard that shit before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard. Yeah, like I knew a lot of
He's on
dudes who
it.
died, man, from fucking doing heroin. And I had this chick who I was friends with her and her brother for years, and she was like deep in the shit.
Yeah.
Deep in the shit. Like where
Best-
she would disappear to like Gary, and her dad was like Michael Douglas in traffic, like
Yo!
going out to fucking crack houses in Gary looking for her and
Wow.
stuff. And she was like, yeah, she would sell.
She was with it.
She would sell the ass for whatever.
Yeah.
And then
Best
put her-
pussy, best heroin pussy I ever had was in fucking Hutchinson, Kansas. German.
That is fucking that. It's all that shit's heroin country.
Yeah, and she was just. I was filming a movie, and then they had an open mic at the bar that I went to.
Yeah.
I went up there and did half an hour.
Dude, you're crushing. Yeah, that's what shit was. You're like,
And-
oh fuck.
And then it was weird because over there, all the they're like white boys. Like they're white boys that are like tough with SpongeBob shirts on, like. Yeah. And then on the alcohol bottle, they had like the snow cone, and it looked like a KKK bottles.
Oh shit!
And they were like, oh shit! And like but yeah, dude, best.
That dude, it's
sex I've ever had.
That all that area, man. Yeah, but there's a lot of hot chicks around there too.
Fuck yeah, and I'm different.
Yeah, dude, that's it, man. You're like, I'm not this fucking hillbilly guy who I've already fucked.
She thought I was the fool in Fast and Furious, Hector.
Dude, that's yeah. You can get away with that shit.
Yeah,
but that's all there is to do, man. Like that's why everyone does fucking heroin.
So it's not like they all get together and live there because they got fucking HIV, but there was a major outbreak where like 200 people got sick.
Where was it?
Indiana.
Yeah, do they have this city?
South County.
Okay,
South County, Indiana.
well,
Yeah,
hey
get down,
guys,
like south, it's fucking like a whole nother world.
stick a needle in your arm. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna be back, and we're gonna fucking jump on my boy coming from porn star mobile homes into porn star real homes in Hollywood. We'll be back. And we're back like a hood rat in a Cadillac waiting for the zigzag. George Press Stories is also brought to you by Gunther's, located in downtown Santa Ana. They got a store for Broadway. They got a store for Maine. What do they got? They got Pendletons like this right here. They got Frisco Benz, Ben Davis, Carhartt, Hush Puppies, Nikes, Vans. Check it out, people. If you want to look fresh and fly and have that like American, like, yo, I'm American. This is an American Pendleton, like real shit. Like you can fight a bear with this in Oregon. Go to Gunther's, located in downtown Santa Ana. And if you don't live by here,
go to Gunthers.com, especially if you live in Indiana, go to Gunthers.com, and we don't have a promo code, so.
you think, can I get some pussy with this over there? This,
You'd be all right, yeah. Dude, the Carhartt shit was like, we used to buy that at the Tractor Supply place. Like, that was what kept us warm, and then at some point it became fashionable.
Yeah,
and
ain't
it
that
drove
a
the
trip?
prices up. Like, dude, that's all we wore to work on the farm.
And it was
all
cheap.
farmers wore Carhartt. I mean, it was expensive, but it was good. But then when it became like
Fashion.
rapper shit, then I was like, dude, what the fuck? It's kind of like you remember you used to buy Chuck Taylors?
Yeah.
And they were, dude, I used to get them for $5.
No way.
There's a trading post in our
$5.
town, and you could buy them, and because nobody's wearing Chuck Taylors. Like
It
early
wasn't in.
Yeah, and then they became fucking like that's all we would wear because we just wear them out. We just go get it.
Yeah,
a
it's
new
because
fucking
all the
pair.
gangs out here in L.A., they take
took 'em
like
all?
hard-working clothes. Like, like we wear Dickies. You guys got Dickies out there
Oh,
too.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you wear them to go fucking be the janitor at the school.
now we wear them to like go out to a club, crease them down, starch them up. Would they flip the fuck out if you showed up to work like that? All creased down, starched
Oh
up?
yeah. I mean that like still. I mean even when it became popular, like no one was wearing Carhartt because you're like, oh, you're a farmer.
Yeah.
Nobody's going into like a fucking
Everybody wears that
club
shit
in
now.
Indiana, which is I use the term loosely when I say club.
Yeah, what?
It's just like it's just
bar?
a hillbilly gathering with like fucking whatever music is
What
popular. right
music
then.
is allowed in Indiana, dog?
Dude, whatever like was the most popular shit at that time was just all they would play.
When was the first time you heard like gangster rap? Were you
Oh well, I mean, so
Eazy-E, NWA.
yeah, every fucking white guy in Indiana was like listening to like hardcore rap. So all my
NWA?
buddies were into it.
What about Ice Cube?
Yeah, and they all had that was back when the systems, you get a fucking
Hell
system,
yeah.
get some like Dr. Frankenstein's back there,
Yeah.
and so so I learned all that shit from my buddy. Like every suburban like white kid listened to gangster rap.
What was in when you were in high school?
I mean everything from NWA was huge, and everything
Chronic?
after. Oh yeah, absolutely huge.
That's crazy.
And then you
dude.
started getting into like that fucking southern rap, like Juvenile,
Yeah.
and all that crew,
Master P.
yeah.
That's what's up. So you land in L.A. You
Yeah.
want to do NASCAR. You're taking
Well, so
classes.
I got in a bad accident.
Okay.
And I was at Road America. If any racing fans out there, it's like one of the best road courses in America.
Where's it at?
It's in Wisconsin, Sheboygan, Wisconsin, which is where Mitzi Shore was from.
Oh shit!
So I got in a bad accident when I was doing a practice lap, or no, it was a qualifying lap.
They're still in the Civic. What do you?
No, I'm doing open wheel cars, like little Indy cars, basically.
Okay.
And so I dropped 2 wheels off after a turn, and it's a real fast straightaway. And instead of just driving it off the course, I try to bring it back on, and then I spin, hit the wall over there, just rip the whole suspension and transmission off, and then spin around. And after that, I was just fucking broke. So I was like, I went back home. I'm still selling cars, and my mom was like, I want you to go to college. And I was like, but there's no college like that will take me. My grades are terrible. So I found like an art school in Chicago. It's pretty small, so they took me. Yeah. Because they'll take anybody. Art schools, they're like our motel dude back in the day. They're like, we just need some motherfuckers to pay some money to go here.
Yeah.
So my mom's like,
chicken.
Yeah, that was her dream. Since she was like, she grew up in fucking Germany, like during World War II and shit.
Damn.
So she just wanted like her kids to go to college. And my brother and sister are like great students. Like everybody's lawyers. So I got a half brother is a lawyer, my brother's a lawyer, my sister's a lawyer. I got a sister-in-law that's a lawyer. Damn. So everybody's just...
You're just a brother-in-law.
Yeah, I'm just a fucking... I'm the fucking... So I go to school, and I'm 21 at this time. So I just go to school and I just bang it out. I'm done in like 2.5, 3 years. And they have a semester in LA program. So I was like, I'll just go to that and I'll just end up out here. So I went to like the writing program. So I ended up out here, and then I was like, all right, I've always thought about trying stand-up comedy.
Were you a fan before?
I was, but I always thought everybody just made it up.
Me too.
Yeah. I think
like
everybody...
on the spot type of shit.
Yeah.
And then, which is why I do a lot of crowd work now, because I always used to think, like, I was like, oh, these guys are pretty fucking good. These are some really well-crafted fucking jokes. Dudes are just coming up off the top of the head. So even when I was younger and I was watching that like with my buddies, I was like, oh, this is how you have to do it. If you're going to be like,
yeah, you just got to
entertained.
show up.
Yeah. And so of my buddies, like I wasn't the fucking tough guy. I wasn't the guy who had the money, and I was just like, I'm the crazy guy, the funny guy. Yeah. So I'll just go
You got charisma, charm.
Yeah. So you got to go do. So that's where I started honing it. And then when I got out here, I watched, I saw the E! True Hollywood Story on the Comedy Store. So I was like, oh, that's where you probably got to start. So
Smart.
So I went to the open mic there. And
describe it. What year?
Dude, this is 2000 and... Okay, so this is... Oh, yeah, it's right before Thanksgiving, 2002.
Wow, that's the time I started, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had like 2 years off.
Okay.
At one point, I was like... I was like, I got it. I'm done with this shit. Like, comedy's going nowhere. And like,
where was the Comedy Store at? Because was that after or before? That was after Rogan did the whole thing with
Mencia,
it was
right?
way
before.
Oh, this is before. I was there that night working the door.
Okay.
When Mencia and Rogan went at it. So this is like, it's dead. Dude, the lineups are like, if you saw some of these fucking lineups, it's insane.
Is Mitzi sick?
Mitzi's still coming in.
Okay.
And so, yeah, but she's sick. She's still not.
So it's just not running how it should be.
No. And also, like, comedy is just not, like, nobody, like, it's crazy to think how it is now, but back then, nobody was coming out to see comedy.
Yeah.
Like, it was just dead in the line.
We weren't rock stars like we are now.
Yeah, and then, like, Eddie Griffin would come in and do 3-4 hours. And so he'd bump the whole lineup, and...
So there was no, like, pattern, no structure, really?
No. It was dead. So I started doing open mics, and then after a year... they hired me to work the phones. So then I would get like calls from Mitzi and shit. And like you would get the first call I ever got from Mitzi was she said that the manager there had just raped her and that he had stolen her clothes. And I was like, oh, well, what the fuck do I do here? So you got to call somebody. He just raped me and took my clothes. And I was like, oh, she's not with it anymore. Because the manager was literally downstairs. So I called him and I go, hey, man. So I go, yeah.
Can I get the outfit?
You need to tell me. Dude, when I was working the phones when Katrina was going on, and it would say L.A., for Louisiana.
Like
and
Katrina...
Like the fucking hurricane.
Katrina.
And she would go, oh, they're coming to get my stuff. She'd be watching the news, and it would say, New Orleans, L.A., and she thought it was Los Angeles.
I
And so
got
all the
you.
looting, she's like, oh, they're coming to get me. So then I started working there doing the phones, and I remember this was my first week there. Bobby Lee came in, and there was a bathroom right by the phone room, and so he took a shit, wiped his ass, then brought toilet paper with the shit on it and put it on my desk. And he goes, there you go. And I go, what the fuck is this? He goes, it's hazing. It's like, we do this to all the new guys. And I go, all right, well, I'm not into this shit.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, it's too bad. You have to fucking clean it up. And then I remember he just left and walked away. And then Ari was with him, and he goes, you got to do something here. So I was like, all right. So then fucking threw the shit away. And then my shift ended late, 9 o'clock at night. And I pissed into a fucking Crystal Geyser bottle. And as I was leaving, Bobby Lee's always sitting on that fucking
Wall?
Yeah, on the wall. And his pants are always halfway down. And his crack was open. And I go, all right, this is what I got to do. So then I just walked up and I just grabbed the back of his pants and I had the cap off the bottle. I just shoved the piss bottle. I just squeezed it down the back of his pants. And he freaked the fuck out. And then he tried to get me fired. And they didn't fire me. And so that till this day, he's just not we're not cool. He still fucking thinks about it, I think.
You put piss down his pants.
Yeah, but he
But
put
he
shit.
shit, man.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to be the guy that somebody's going to let take a shit on their desk.
Yeah.
So, so it was never the same after that.
See, I would have hung out with him in
It's been
juvenile
22 years. It's been 20 years.
I know, dude. I'm telling you, because not even that long ago, he was like, it wasn't really piss. And I was like, dude, it was piss. Because he had to go up on stage then that night with fucking piss
with
down
some
his
warm
ass.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah, somebody pissed in your asshole. That was, but dude, you shit. For me, I was like, I'll mess with anything, but don't be putting shit anywhere near me.
Yeah, and they're testing you, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So then I had so off of that, then people didn't fuck with me. And then I had, problems anyway. So I just became the guy that was always fucking with people there. So people were always trying to, I would push people until they would break. And then I remember one dude was like, I'm going to stab you.
Wow.
Some dude, he's like, you fuck with me, I'm going to stab you. You fucking went too far.
I never got into that with any comedian.
It was back then. It was like prison fucking.
Yeah,
rule, it's just a bunch of inmates running.
The store back then, I heard you weren't allowed to go do other clubs. You just do the store.
Yeah, you just do the store, and and everybody. It was just all the door guys, everything. They ran everything.
And was Danny there, the sound guy?
Danny was always there, but the main room was never open.
Oh shit,
dude! It's crazy to think back then, because then I used to work the cover booth too, and you would have to have at least I think it was 4 or 6 people to start a show. And there would be 2 people, and they would sit in there for an hour, and the show wouldn't start.
Soldiers.
And it was I would close the curtains on the booth. I was like, this is embarrassing, dude. Because they would keep coming up to me is the show going to start? I was like, yeah, we're just waiting for a few more people. And sometimes those people would leave, and I was like, now we have to start over.
Damn.
So it was bad. I mean, and the main room show, I think maybe it was going on a Saturday, one show, and it was no.
Didn't they have Fat Tuesdays back then?
Fat Tuesdays was the best.
Yeah.
And one time they had me seat that place, and everyone just walked by me. I go, "Oh, follow me to your seat." And they were just, "Fuck you." I'm not going. But they did that documentary on Amazon about. That was a great documentary because that show kept the Comedy Store
alive,
in fucking business.
Wow.
That was the show. That was when I saw Eddie Murphy for the first time. That's the only dude who I ever been starstruck where I was
like, he's
Eddie
the one.
Fucking Murphy.
How long were you at the store when this happened?
I was there I was working there probably a couple years.
Okay.
And he just came. I was sitting on the back door, and he just walked down and was just looking at shit, and then went to the bathroom. And then one night I stopped 2 guys. They had hooded sweatshirts on, 2 black dudes. And I was like, hey, where are you guys going? And then they took off their fucking sweatshirts, and it was Chris Tucker and Eddie Murphy. And I was like, you guys can go wherever the fuck you want to go.
They're like, listen here, Mr. Poor Piss Down People's Butts.
So, but then you got the stage time, but there was really never any. You could develop and do whatever the fuck you wanted because there's never any crowds and no one was watching you.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks now because there's crowds there and kids, now you can't develop. You feel the pressure to like perform.
Yeah.
But back then you could just do. It didn't fucking matter.
She wanted to see you be daring and shit like that.
And I went up in front of her like at least a dozen times, and she fucking hated me. So I think she hated everybody. But
That's the shit. When did you see the change happen?
dude, it wasn't until like 2012.
That's when I showed up.
Yeah, that was when like
Joey brought me along, and
Yeah,
Rogan
when, like-
came back, right?
like when Rogan's podcasting brought people back into stand up, and so Rogan and all those guys, like they started getting big, and then and then after that it was fucking just blew up.
Because I went in 2011, like when I turned 21.
Yeah,
Bought tickets. You guys didn't even scan them.
yeah. Oh, no.
Like you guys would just let me in,
Oh,
and
dude,
I sat there and I was like, I just wasted my like you
Motherfuckers
guys
were
didn't
snoring
yeah.
in the back. People would fucking just homeless guys would be coming in sleeping in the back of the fucking OR.
yeah, bro. Like when
They didn't give a fuck.
I showed up like I would say 2012, 2013 is when I showed up over there. No. Yeah, 2013, I think.
Yeah, I was out from like 2010 to 2012.
Yeah, because I kept hearing about you, dog. You had a podcast with
Yeah.
another guy named Danish, right?
Yeah.
And you guys were like the fools in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard like you guys had this shit going.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was fucking. It was up until the pandemic shit, and just fucking after a while, people just go find other shit. Especially people weren't going to work and stuff, so it fucking crushed us.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, it was going good, and then 2012, it fucking all came back. And then I came back then at that time too. Luckily, Adam was there and he knew about me. So then I would get spot, the usual like once a week or something. But at least I was like back in the mix.
rotation.
Yeah. Because I was there when Tommy was there.
Ugh, I heard that shit was like.
Oh, it's terrible. But I used to see you all the time. But then you see, we were talking about this when you see people for so long. At some point, you're like, I can't introduce myself now. Like, I've been seeing this guy for years.
Yeah, it's a
That
trip.
was just fucking weird.
It's a trip that you explained it, how I always thought of it, but it was just more like, if you're not going to say hi, I'm not going to say hi.
Yeah, it's that, yes. And also, like, when you go there, you fucking, like, it used to be, like, you kind of put on a shield because you're like, fuck, I don't know who's who and, like, what's what.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, I'm kicking it.
Yeah. But, yeah, I saw you for years.
That's
around
a trip.
Yeah, at least, from 2012 and fucking till, like, then.
Yeah, man. That place helped me develop, man.
Dude, it is, man. It's just like when I hear dudes who are just already popular or famous from something else, and then they go in there, but they never did open mics and stuff. I was like, there's no way to get good.
Yeah.
You got to try on a lot of different hats. Mm-hmm. Like you got to be a lot of different types of comics before you find out like the shit that works for you.
So you put on a lot of Carhartt jackets.
I always, this is the same shit I've always worn.
The polo, yeah, because you're used to it cold, right? This isn't cold out here
this
in
is
Cali.
great. Dude, I love it. I go skiing and shit. Oh. Mammoth. I love it up there, freezing. I'll ski in just this.
Fuck that.
What's up, X? You want to ask any questions? Because, like, remember when I told you, hey, dog, watch this dude. I like watching this guy.
Oh yeah, and he told me, and then your
I
jokes
brought
were
like
just
4 people into the OR. I say, hey, come on, man,
Oh,
we gotta watch.
appreciate
Yeah,
it. It always gives me. I'm always like, oh fuck, now people are watching. Because I always have a couple of jokes that are just not gonna fucking work. I know when I get there, I'm like, some of this shit's not
Who cares? But that's what you got. You got.
I know.
throw
Let's just go.
those.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're just nothing's gonna happen.
That's what's up.
But yeah, from years of like 1 a.m. spots back when there was like 3 people in there, it's just.
Like what? Nothing can hurt me.
No, you're just like doing crowd work, and it's fucking, and
You
people,
get 3 bits out of it. 3 people.
Maybe, yeah. You might not get any bits out of it. You might just have to go.
So he asked me what I got. I got a question. Everyone talks about these weird vibes at the Comedy Store, Buggy Seagulls and The Killing. You ever get any crazy
Dude,
vibes?
you know
I'm
what?
sure you've been there late at night and shit.
When I was the phone guy, I used to have to go turn the lights on in the main room, all that, and I was like the only guy in the building, and I never saw shit.
Yeah,
And
okay.
even late at night, I like to get scared. Like I like scary movies and shit, so I like to scare myself. But like sometimes if I have to turn the lights off in the very back of the main room and nobody was there, like I'll get scared and start running. But also I know there's nothing fucking back there.
Yeah, and back then your phone didn't have a light.
Oh, dude, I had a fucking burner phone until, man,
Oh yeah, I remember that about you.
Yeah,
dude.
everyone was always. I was like, "Don't text me. It costs me 15 cents, man." And if you have something to text me, you do it all in one big thing, man. Because I don't want to spend any money fucking getting texts from you.
Hey, you believe in that, like the whole tracking algorithm and shit like that, right?
What? Oh yeah.
I mean, it is true, but it's like it's going to benefit us one day.
Dude, it's all just to sell us shit. That's the other thing. They just steal all this shit just so they can sell us shit.
And plus, it helps solve crimes like crazy.
No, it's true, man.
You know?
But dude, I think
but
about
you're losing your freedom.
I know that's what I'm at. I'm
Well,
like,
you're not even a citizen. What do you know of freedom? I'm losing my freedom when you here.
dude, but you can get away with so much fucking shit.
With the burner phone. Hell yeah.
But also, just crime-wise, dude, if they don't find you within 24 hours, this L.A. is not looking for you anymore.
I don't know. They took me in. They're different. For Mexicans, they look.
They'll
Dude,
wait.
wait. 2 years ago, in July, in the fucking pandemic, some dude tried to shoot me, and that was it. Like after they did like a manhunt that night with dogs and everything, they didn't find him. That was it. A detective called me.
No
He goes,
way.
"Yeah, I don't know if we find somebody like linked to another crime and they confess, but that's it."
So were you walking down the street?
So I live in like Los Feliz, and I walk at night. I've lived there 20 years, and I walk at night constantly. Like I've been walking. Sometimes I'll just go.
Yeah, you're from
2:30 at
Indiana,
night. Yeah.
dog.
with your dog by yourself?
No, I just walk by myself. Sometimes I'll smoke weed. Sometimes it's just fucking. I like the.
You're
city
allowed
at
to
night.
walk.
Yeah, but so I was on Franklin and Normandy.
Yes.
So I'm there and I'm heading east on Franklin, and I pass a dude on the sidewalk, and then like a block later, I'm like, something just told me, I was like, you gotta look behind you, and so now the dude's like going my way, but he's still a block behind me.
Yeah, but now you know.
I know. So next block, I look back, and he's like a half a block. So the next block, I was like, I gotta cross the street.
Yeah.
And if this dude crosses the street, so I know the shit's on. But I had mace, which I usually don't bring with me. And I had shoes, and I usually wear flip-flops. But when I left the house, something just told me to bring fucking mace and shoes.
Good.
So as soon as I cross, the dude starts, and he yells, he's like, "Hey, man, you got to smoke?" And I was like, or no, he goes, you got a light. And I was like, that's what I found out later. Cops are like, if anybody asks you for a light and it's 2 a.m., you're getting fucking jacked.
Yeah.
So I was like, no. And I kept moving. I was moving fast. I wasn't running, but I was walking fast. And then he's like, "Hey, you think I can get a lighter down at 7-Eleven?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure." And then he runs at me. So I run between two cars back out into Franklin. And then he comes around the back of the car out on Franklin. And I just had my mace out. I just sprayed it. And then I just see the flash of light. And then I just fucking hear the sound. Yeah, and I was like, and then it's surreal because you're like, this dude's trying to fucking kill me. And so then he fires some other shots, and I dive back between the cars. But then I was like, is he coming around? So now I got to look up in the windows.
Like you dove like
I ran, and then I slipped on the fucking grass, and then my knee caught the pavement, so it just shredded my knee. And then I was scrambling back up, and I was staying by the car because I was trying to look
You
through
didn't
the
want to
glass.
be seen, yeah.
I was just wanted to see if he was coming around. And then I saw him run up into the neighborhood, and then I didn't have a phone or anything, so I ran a half a block down to Edgemont, where there's like a apartment building with an open courtyard. I just started yelling for someone to call 911. But I thought people were like, this is just a homeless fucking guy.
Yeah.
But luckily, people had heard the shot, so they came out. And the adrenaline's going, so you're like, I don't know if I'm shot. Like, so I take off my shirt, my pants, and people are like checking me out. And I was like, dude, 'cause and my knee's bleeding. So I was like, you shoot me in the knee? I don't fucking know.
Oh, wow.
And then the cops come, and then they like search around. And I just live down the street. So the guy's like, hey, I was like, well, my wife's home. I was like, but she probably won't answer her phone. So he's like, you better call her. So I called her, and then she comes walking down. She's like, what the fuck happened?
you still walk down?
Yeah, she walked down. I know. I go, hey, you might want to come down to this street. It's 3 blocks down. So she walks down, and she's like, what happened? And I was like, oh, some dude tried to fucking kill me. And she's
For a
like,
lighter.
oh, okay. It didn't really dawn on her at all. So, and then they like sent the dogs out, and they had 5 dogs and like 20 cops. But they got a call from somebody who said he was like, they saw a dude jump over their fence. It was in their yard, but it was outside that perimeter where they had cut it off. So the detective's like, yeah, we won't catch that fucking guy.
Damn. You know, but hey, man, I've been on that other end of like shot at someone that I thought was chasing me,
Yeah.
and they weren't. And so glad I didn't hit him.
Yeah.
You know?
But still, dude, I mean,
You think it was random? You think he was just like out on a sick one,
He's trying to rob
recognized you,
him.
thought you
so
had a Rolex?
I
or
don't know.
something?
The cops say he may have been trying to rob me, but also there was nobody out. I wasn't going to a bar. You know, nothing was open at that time. So why would I have anything on me? And I don't carry anything on me anyway. So I don't know. And then they go, it could have been gang related. But then I talked to this dude who had been in prison, and he's like, they shoot other gang members to get in. So he's like, I don't think it was that. So I'm assuming it was some sort of.
Well, did you
robbery
mace him? And
so I don't know. I'm assuming that the mace hit him, and that
And it
was
triggered him.
Because all I know is I maced, and then the shit happened like at the same time. So I don't know if he was gonna shoot, and then he got maced, and then he fired, or he was gonna scare me with the gun, or what the fuck happened. But-
What if you maced him and the mace hit the trigger? You really shot it
That's
yourself.
a powerful fucking mace. That's like a fire hose mace.
Dude, this is crazy.
So dude, and then I didn't go out fucking. I didn't go out. Yeah, I don't go out walking at night. It fucking sucks. Like that was my. And then at one time I went out.
He probably saved your life though, because they started jacking
true.
fools during
I
the
know.
pandemic.
I know. And then some dudes came up to me on the road, like a year later. I was walking down. It was dark already, and 3 dudes ran up to me. And I fucking had my can of mace. I go, stay the fuck back. And they're like, whoa, we're just trying to find our car, man. We're in Griffith Park. And I was like, oh, sorry, dude. Some dude tried to shoot me a year ago. And they're like, are we going to get shot? And I was like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, he's making rent go down.
So that, you know. But yeah, I get that too, though. But I was also like, I'd rather be wrong than fucking dead.
Straight
So if you
up.
have to shoot at somebody.
Yeah.
But you guys can't carry guns legally.
Not no more. And back in when I was gang banging, I
Well,
think
no
it was
one
till
can.
1999. It was you can't, but it was a misdemeanor.
He said
Okay.
you guys, like, just, you can't either.
No, I mean L.A. Yeah, because in Indiana, like,
It's open. You don't even need like a license.
well,
on it.
you got to get a license. But my brother was 18. He always had a Glock on him.
Yeah.
And then once you realize the Glock is way too big, then you just start carrying like a stub nose 38, where you're like, dude, this thing's fucking a pain in the ass to carry around with me. But yeah, most of the guys I knew, everyone got their like gun permit at 18, and then you could just carry.
But you guys had to
legally.
shoot the environment around you, right?
Yeah, I mean, one time my brother had to shoot or pulled his gun out. Some dudes were like, I'd fucked with their house like the night before, and then they got drunk and they like came over to our house, and then they were getting a little crazy, and then my brother pulled a gun, and then they fucking took off and they called the cops on him. But he got out with that, so
Yeah, he's a lawyer.
not at that time, but he was fine.
What about you, dog? You ever been pulled out on you and shit? Hey, get out of my country.
Yeah, by cops.
Yeah,
Usual.
I mean,
That's normal here.
I've had fucking cops like put gun to my face, shit. Yeah, I got fucking jumped one time by the sheriffs.
Seriously?
Seriously, because I was in a riot, and then like they hit you with paintball. They got
those
paintball
fucking-
guns,
dude. Those are like rubber bullets.
Yeah, and they got
Those
mace
fucking-
in them now.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like powder?
double trouble.
Oh shit.
And like I was fucking fighting, and I got hit with them. And I ran back to my bunk, but there was blood coming out, so they fucking just socked me up. Why are you running and
Damn.
shit? And I was like, man, cover up, dog. Why even fight back on this one?
That's a fun. Yeah, they did in Indiana. They'll pull you over. I remember they would like bust parties. I had a buddy who was like 6'5", and he was a fucking track star. I remember somebody's house got raided, and he just ran out the back door, and like 2 cops were chasing him, and he was just laughing. He's like, "You guys will never fucking catch me. Because I will slow down, like you guys will never fucking catch me."
And they're like, we're part of the booster club. You
But
better-
out here, they'll shoot you probably in the fucking back.
yeah, I mean, it's fucking. I don't know, man. The police, it's a fucked up job. It's a fucked up world.
It's tough, man. That is a fucking.
You know?
Oh, you only see
Imagine
the
having a
bad
camera on
shit.
you all day. We'd get fired from everything I did.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Yeah. I would turn that shit off all the time. I see why they're like, the camera was turned off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like there's no.
Brady would always be dead on mine.
You get fired for you wouldn't even show up. You wouldn't even iron your outfit, show up all musky and shit. You'd get more complaints and citations. Well, hey, brother, fucking, we barely scratched the surface.
I know.
man.
Yeah. We could go.
And it's getting a little late. It's a great. And fucking thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Fuck yeah, we got to bring you back. You're the kind of fool that's down to watch movies with. Like,
Oh yeah,
you know what I
dude.
mean?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You almost started watching that documentary. What was it?
I know, dude. We
Yeah.
watched 20 minutes.
It's
of
got
that
the
fucking
Bones
documentary.
Brigade.
But that was because there were so many fucking. They had to,
References to our childhood.
they had to put the they had to black out like every 5 minutes. They had to just put like a
Yeah.
long pause in there.
Yeah, that way they don't get kicked off. I don't know how they do that shit. The piracy X.
Yeah, some shit like that.
I love it. There's always like a new system for doing it.
There will always be. There
Yeah.
will always be a way to get shit free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube don't play around. They'll play it backwards. They'll switch the
Yeah,
outfits.
dude. Or you watch UFC fights on there and they're just fucking close up. All you can see is the dude's fit. You can't even see leg kicks or anything.
That's what's up. Well, hey, brother, thank you so much for coming down.
Yeah, man, thanks for
Where
having
can all
me.
my fans follow you? What shows you got coming up?
Check me out on Instagram at Ryan O'Neal Comedy. I got a podcast called Beach Cops. If you love stupid shit, this is the fucking show for you.
Fuck
Some of
yeah.
the stupidest shit you'll ever hear in your life. And then the only road gig I have now is Wise Guys in fucking March.
Oh, yeah? That's in
March-
Utah, right?
Yeah, March 2nd March 5th.
That's what's up.
That's with it's a ski trip I do with Ari Shafir.
That's cool.
So it'll be me, Ari Shafir, Mark Norman,
Oh, shit.
Steve Renazizi, and Ian Fidance.
You guys do shrooms that weekend? Is that?
That's not the shroom one. Ari and I usually will go to like the woods somewhere. Like we went to Spokane. We rented like a fire tower back in September of last year, and it was like an hour and a half hike to get up there. And then you get up, didn't have running water or anything. Just had like solar panels and just this fire tower overlooking everything. And so we just shroomed and fucking hiked for 4 days.
How the fuck do you guys get water?
The guy trucked water up there. It's just bottled water. And we just shit outside and fucking cooked, grilled shit up outside. And
Was there a fridge at least?
no, there's no fridge or anything.
Damn.
So it was, yeah. But I like that kind of shit.
You're crazy. You just kill shit and use it all of that day, huh?
I mean, that's like my style. That's
I see that shit.
when I leave this fucking town, I'm going to the middle of nowhere, in the woods, with my wife, and that's it.
That's what's up. But hey, that's some real shit though. I feel safe around you if I went hiking.
Yeah, it's
I was like, he don't have a gun. He got mace, but he got a snug nose in the truck.
all right. Well, yeah, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Fuck
thank
yeah,
you guys.
thank you.
Fucking great.
X, I'm fucking high as fuck.
I got a contact buzz, dude, like
Right?
crazy.
December
Yeah.
28th, where we at, X? All right, you guys. December 15th, I will be at the Comedy Store main room. The show sold out. A lot of people were complaining there was no white people, so we added Ryan Sickler.
That's a good white dude to have.
Yeah. I got it. I only put one white boy on every show.
Okay.
You're on the next one, dog.
All right, man.
We
Let me
need
know.
we need one from the woods. He's from the East Coast.
Yeah.
We got you not from the woods, and you're gonna love the tacos.
Oh, dude, I'm a fucking huge taco guy.
Oh, dude, you trip out. December 28th, I will be live at the Whistle Stop. That's in San Diego. X to the G will be with me. What else am I doing next? I'm going to be in fucking...
So yeah, some shows and
I'll tell you guys later. I got shows in Ventura, Arizona. I'll tell y'all fools later. X to the G, talk to him.
hit that like button, subscribe, get us to 20,000 subscribers. Probably not by the end of the year, but if you guys can make it happen, that'd be great.
Also, I was on Kill Tony. Hey, go on there and fucking leave comments so it looks like Mexicans watch the show too.
yes,
All
hashtag
right? The
take
more
a shower.
comments, the more power we show. Take a shower, brown power. Show these fools.
Yeah.
Late.
Late.